Hello and welcome back to No Man's Sky, everybody. ElanPaul here with your survival playthrough on Worlds Part 2. So we originally started this, I believe, with Worlds 1, but we're in Worlds 2 now. We're doing a survival version of this. We're going to run all the way through the whole storyline in story mode. As you know, we've already gone through a bunch of episodes and we just completed the base missions. So we are done with our base. We could go to the base computer and do some more. Let me go ahead and show you that real quick, by the way. Base computer archives. I do recommend going through these because you'll get to a point where you're going to learn a lot more about the storyline, and it's usually a good idea to do so. So you go to the computer and it'll give you some more information. For instance, recovered archive, encrypted, input recovery passkey to proceed. And what you do is you have to choose one of these. It's honestly, it is very random which one to choose. Interlopers, friends, traveler entity. I'm just going to choose them at random until I get it. Oh, I chose number 3, Traveler Entity. And you'll unlock it and it'll give you the next archive recovery, which has always got a number, 15% this time, new data available. We're going to search the archives. 4925 with a question mark this time, follow. So we don't know what entry it is, but it says, my exosuit has directed me to a crashed starship. Psst. Controls react to my touch, and I can only assume it belongs to me. Psst. No memory of it, no sense of it before. Now you remember that we had that earlier when we heard things, right? When we first started the whole story, if you will. Now it's going on and telling us that additional data is available. Construction logs recovered, blueprints reassembled and prepared for download. So we're going to search the construction database, and it's going to get us exosuit technology data. Download the plans. Personal upgrade module synthesized from data scraps. Readable archive retrieval complete. Beginning defragmentation of next segment, and we leave. Now in the past it used to be see, we're getting scatter modules. All we got out of that, no big deal. But that's because it gave us something that we could probably use, a technology that we've already probably installed. I'm gonna guess it might be the oxygen recycler. Probably. But we'll see. So anyway, that should take care of that. So we'll get certain upgrades, and the C-class upgrades are not as good as like a B-class or an A-class. You really want S-class upgrades if you can get them. The C-class I usually just sell off for the 60 nanites a piece just to get them out of my inventory. So there's that. Alright, so but we can keep going back over and over. Now in the past, when we first did this, storyline a couple years ago was that you'd have to wait an hour or so and then you could come back. Now you could do these over and over and over again. Same thing, passkey. I'm not going to go through it. I'm going to choose the purple one again. We see what happens. Okay. Alright, didn't work that time. So let's go with number 1. And if you don't get it right, it just keeps repeating itself. There we go. I used number 2 that time. 27% now, as you can see. We're going to do archives first again. This time we get 4925X. I glance back towards the wreck of my ship, nothing more than a dot, psst, walking at this plane for hours. Yet the mountains seem no closer. Psst, I look up to the sky, and that's all you get. Construction logs again. We do this construction database. We get more download plans. Personal upgrade module again. And it'll redo it again. And this just happens over and over to get further along. See, I got another scanner module. As you can see, now I got 2 of them right over here. So let's go through it real quick and see how far it goes. I'm just going to take a few moments to do this. They came up from surrounded, back above ground now, but sure, they're following me. Never should have touched the eggs. Those would be the whispering eggs that he accidentally touched. Additional data. There we go again. Construction, multi-tool technology this time. Neural stimulator. That's not a multi-tool item, as you can see. So you can't always believe what it says, so we can actually build that here if we want. So that gives us a 25% jetpack, recharge rate. It's just a minor B class, but it is handy when you have nothing else. Thing is, I don't have enough slots here, so I'm not going to build anything just now. And if you stay there, what'll happen is it'll stay in here as a pinned formula, and you can do it later. I'm going to unpin it. We'll just remember it later. And let's go back to the archives. Let's wait for the computer emblem to show. Oh, it's really, really wanting us to do that. Okay. Tell you what, we're not going to do that. We're going to continue with the storyline. Is what we're going to do instead, because we have a ways to go. We have a ways to go. So, let's go ahead and go back to the storyline for now. We'll come back to it when we get more slots available in our exosuit. Maybe I'll do that between episodes. I'll open up some more slots. Alright, so we're going to go back to Apollo, and we're going to continue with the Artemis mission line. This time it's including Apollo. So let's go ahead and do this. He wants us to raid a building. You see the emblem on the right-hand side? That's what we're looking for. This isn't very far away. You'll notice that my... looks like my exocraft is still over there, where I left it. That's okay. You can call it in anywhere you want. Of course, we find it up on jacks or something like that, with all the tires missing, then we'll know that that probably wasn't such a smart idea. This particular archive looks like it's really far down, so I'm going to assume it is around. Is that possible? Alright, let's do a quick scan. No? Alright. This is pointing in a very odd direction, so I don't think there's anything nearby. That building is way too far away to be associated with it. So let's go ahead and just land here. Let's take a look. Because maybe it's the building where our exocraft is over there. What do you think? I think it's the same. See, estimated distance 441, and our distance to our terminal is 421. So I think that's what we're looking at here. Oh, of course we've got a storm coming in, right?
Technology recharge.
I look forward to upgrades to the space to a ship so we can go further faster. I think my mic was muted the whole time there for a little bit. So basically what I was saying is that I had lost connection with me for just a minute because I had received a message. So I was trying to answer somebody's questions. So yep, cut it out. There we go. Didn't want to talk to the trader anyway. So yeah, sometimes when you go to those little habitations like that, it accidentally got linked to the other mission that my exocraft guy was sending me on. So both missions were going at the same time. But fortunately, both missions were complete, which is why we went up to the space station. It said to go to the multi-tool vendor up here. So we're going to go ahead and pause here for just a moment. Okay. So now we're heading to the multi-tool vendor like it just told us. So there wasn't much to report there at the thing down below. Sorry about the silence for a few moments there. Gotta remember to unmute my microphone when I get messages like that. So anyway, here we go. So first things first, I've already gotten that. So we need the exosuit dude, pardon me, the multi-tool technology merchant. He's going to give us something. We're going to offer the clusters, and he's just going to give us a C-class boltcaster module. Let's hit one of the other merchants real quick and just sell off all this extra stuff I've got. So we're going to go to sell. I'm going to get rid of these 4. I don't need these. They're just useless to me, and they just take up space. We can buy stuff, but we don't have any room in our inventory yet, so yeah, there's that. But as we come across other things, we'll hopefully get some upgrades for our exosuit. Alright, I think that's about it. What's next? We hit the H button. Variety. When ready, return to space, make contact with Apollo. So we're pretty much done here. Our ship does have some slots available to it. We got some decent shields. That one's not so great. I would like to get a better thing in here, but we need to open up some slots in here too. Some ship upgrade slots would be great. I don't think we have any. I'm pretty sure we don't. We might have some in our storage, but I'm not really worried about that right now. Let's just check ship upgrades real quick. Just make sure there's nothing I need. Yeah, all they got is a phase beam module and a pulse. Well, they got a pulse engine module. That might be worth it. I got enough nanites. Let's go ahead and do it. It would help us in the long run. Let me see here. That's our cannon. And it's in a supercharged slot, right? Put that here. That's not in a supercharged slot. So let me see what that upgrade will do. So putting it in a different spot is handy. So let's look at the right-hand side. You'll need to notice that our maneuverability is at 477 right now, correct? That bumps it up to 584. Now what happens when we move this over here next to the S? Nothing. Nothing changes. Let's put this over here. Look at that. Dropped it to 552. So positioning of this stuff is important. See, 497 if you separate them out. 489. 518, 544, see what I mean? And then 584, there you go. So, I'm going to leave it like that for now. But that gives us a nice upgrade. This is a suspicious geologic... Oh, I can sell that too. These sell for a pretty good amount, 336, so we're going to get some extra nanites back. Let's go ahead and sell it to him. Sell, and over here, there we go. Because I don't use geology cannons, so there we go. Alright, so we're in good shape. Let's go ahead and get going. We're going to return to space and continue on with the Apollo mission. C-14. Okay, good. I seem to have a conscript that has attached themselves to my ship, apparently. I think that's a bug. Okay, there we go. Let's talk to Apollo. You are not alone. Oh, maybe it's not Apollo. I know you, traveler. Where you're going. Psst. There is no need to hurry. Ask who they are. Psst. You will find us when the time is right. That's all we get. Let's wait a couple extra moments because we should be able to find Apollo. There we go. There he is. Are you ready? Make sure you are. This job isn't going to be a small one. You might not be heading back to that base of yours for a while. Confirm. Good. Let the hunt begin. I've detected a Korvax installation on that world of yours. The interference in your transmissions is a giveaway. It might be disguised in the style of another species, but don't be fooled. The synthetics delight in espionage. Point out Apollo is robotic. I'm not robotic. I was born just like you were, but this is no world for flesh. My brain, what organs I have left, everything was transferred to this shell. This is who I am. Ask how this happened. I took my revenge when the time came. That is all you need to know. So, start from the hypothesis that the Sentinels use these portals to get around. How do they activate it? We need to observe. We need to summon them. And what better way than to attack a secret Korvax factory? They are both robotic life forms. Too much in common. Too much coincidence. Enter the factory and hack the terminal within. If we gain data about the Sentinels, good. If not, we'll have summoned enough of them to trace any energy spikes on that world of yours. The portals will be ours in no time. We download the location. Polo nods at me. For the first time I sense respect in their gesture. The approximate coordinates for the hidden facility are logged to my ship's navigation computer. Okay, on our way. We'll get an icon in just a minute. It might be the same planet, it might not. Yeah, I didn't think so. It's going to be this planet instead. Toxic. Let's see, salvageable scrap, that's worth quite a bit of money, by the way. Fungal mold, got already, copper, ammonia, silver. Do we have ammonia? I don't know. Anything else that I pick up on the way, I usually drop into the starship. We do have ammonia. Alright, I'm going to put that over there. I don't think we need it over there just yet. We do have toxic protection.
Technology recharge.
Good deal. Life support could use a boost too.
Technology recharge.
Pulse drive is dropping quick, but hopefully we'll efficient as time goes by. Whoa, okay. Up. Yeah, the approximate location for the facility, where do you think it might be? I think we found it. And if you see Sentinels floating around, you found it. Okay. So we can hit this up. This will save our location. Mark the location. Give us a little bit of nanites and give us a navigation data. Okay, so when we break into this facility, it's going to cause havoc with these guys. So we are going to use, let's see here. Looks like Scatter Blaster. Here we go. Close range. 3 shots. And you see they're coming at us now. But once we're inside, we're protected. They're not going to be able to find us, per se. What's that? It's just a chair. Okay. Go ahead and grab the nanites while we're here. Extra stuff around the outside? No? Okay. Let's hit the terminal. I approach the terminal and search for a way to override the alarm. I find a likely-looking button and press it, causing the terminal to respond. Rah! Vy'keen. Scan, and that's all we can get. A flap flicks open and a microphone emerges. A distant voice shouts, "Grah." Apologize? Really? Say, everything's fine. Yeah, that's a tribute to Star Wars there. Just a reactor leak. Yeah, right. Let's bark, "Grah." I bark aggressively at the terminal. This appears to satisfy whatever demand was being made of me. Access is granted. Normal operations have resumed, and I have access to the facility's main control panel. I should be able to alter production to my own benefit. So we can do extract nanites, we can create a multi-tool expansion slot, which would be pretty cool. Or we can learn a new recipe. Oh, it's tough. Nanites I'm not as concerned about, we can get them anywhere. Multi-tool expansion slots are kind of hard to come by, especially since we have a pretty decent multi-tool right now. And recipes are always good. But you know what? We can learn those recipes at the space station with nanites. Let's get the multi-tool expansion slot. That's what I'm going to choose here. Okay, good. And we'll use that at the space station later on. Okay. Vy'keen standing 1-up-1, so we're in good shape. And the Sentinels are shut down. See, they're in here and they couldn't even see me. Another one right over there. We could shoot him if we want to, but I'm going to hold off on that. So we're done with that. It looks like we need to leave. And coordinate with Apollo, I'm guessing. Let's find out. Let's hit the H check. Yeah, I already did that. Oh, wait a second. Did I just do the wrong facility? Son of a gun, there's another facility. My bad. Let's go take a look. Yeah, look at that. There's a facility right there. Look at that. I'll be. There was 2 facilities right next door to each other. This one had sentinels at it too. That is hilarious. That doesn't happen very often that they're that close to each other. Anyway. Here we go. So, now that you're in the facility, go ahead and pick it clean of anything you can find. It's reminiscent of deja vu, I don't know why. Get some nanites. I'll go ahead and grab the encrypted navigation data. This gives us more navigation data. Well, let's go ahead and hit the terminal. Let's start over again. This one we have to actually repair. So sodium, pure ferrite, chromatic metal. Good thing I had those on me, huh? The terminal houses an upgrade module for my exosuit. However, I find few clues for Apollo. It seems the Korvax within left this world many days ago, apparently recalled on a priority transmission to their species flotilla. Something has them worried. Probe the factory logs. This place seems to have been more than just a factory. It was a home to the Korvax who lived within its walls. It appears that they were experimenting with autonomy from their collective. Examine the video feeds. One of the internal sensors had recorded movement within the facility. It shows me footage of the vents at my feet. There's something in here with me. Shine a light on it. I shine a light on it. It is a small, hairy creature, shaking and afraid. It cries out. The animal appears to have lived here for quite some time. There is a nest in the corner, vestiges of food upon a small dish, even a few clumsy toys and trinkets. The animal seems to have been a companion to the Korvax. My scanner tells me that the creature is gravely ill. It will die no matter what intervention occurs. I don't like euthanizing animals. We're gonna feed them. Feed the creature. Nervously, it takes the carbon and begins to eat. A few moments later, it violently coughs up much of its little meal, only to try to continue the process, shivering with every mouthful. I move on from the factory complex, leaving the animal to its fate. I don't like doing that, but I really don't like killing creatures when I can avoid it. Okay. They still seem to be angry. Did you notice that? Now they're searching. Let me come back in here. Hold on. Wow. Wonder what happened. That required 30 seconds or more. The only thing I can think of is something must have happened. Maybe there's a quad out here somewhere that appeared in the facility and kept finding me. That sometimes happens. They don't. It's not that they go through wall, but they glitch out a little bit. So let's see what happens here. I don't feel like fighting a bunch of sentinels right now. We're going to hold off on that. Not that I'm afraid of them, but you know how I am. Okay, they're deactivated. That was weird. Was that right? No, just got the call-in units and the usual stuff. Nope, that was right. It was a quad. That's probably what happened. Alright. Okay, so let's head back over here. How many animals are here, by the way? Because getting animals on every planet is usually a smart idea. We're getting extra money for them, too. 7? Okay, that is a wandering spore cloud. Gotta be careful of that. 4? That should be 5, I think. Should tell me in a moment. Probably 6. Good. That's 5. Okay, that's 5. So we have 2 more to go. My guess is that they're probably either flying or underground. Let's find out. Should tell us over here. Underground and underground. So both of them are underground. That sucks. Because it's very hard to find creatures that are underground. I don't know if you've ever noticed that before. Okay, let's head back towards our ship and see if there's a cave nearby, but I don't think there is. A lot of rocks in this terrain. Look towards the ground and look for anything underground that would normally not show up on radar. Now, when they build these facilities, when these things appear, sometimes cave systems build near it. Doesn't always happen, but sometimes. Like there's one, I think, right here. Yeah, looks like it. So, if you're fortunate... Oh, wow, this is a good one. If you're fortunate, the animals will show up. But normally, when you have 7 animals and you've discovered 5, 1 will show up from underground. It'll show up near the cave entrance. Sometimes deep underground, but most of the time it's near the cave entrance. And the last one is always the hardest one to find. We have ammonia in the ship, so we'll go ahead and just take that. We could go in there. We do need some cobalt, do we not? How are we doing on cobalt? 75. They do have a secondary element. Let's check it out. Ionized cobalt? Okay, that's not surprising. Wasn't trying to get marrow bulb. Yeah, dust. What the heck? Having the cobalt is handy because it's, like I said, it's good for a great many things. Batteries and things like that that you might need later on. Don't really need the marrow bulbs, but they just happen to be coming in. Love this laser. Just eats through everything. That should be good. Oh, wow, yeah. So we gotta, let me see how much we got. Alright, we got a lot here. Okay, so let's move this over to our ship. Starship's out of range. Okay, no big deal. Let's take another look and see if the animal has appeared. No, hasn't appeared. Okay, so this one's going to be harder to find, so we're not going to spend any more time here. Let's go ahead and get going. I was hoping it would appear. At least one of them. Because if we ever come back here, it'll just be easier to find the one last animal. Okay, and while waiting real quick, let's just jump in here, move our ionized and cobalt across. Keep the phosphorus for now. Okay, and we'll hang on to this. I should have put the paraffinium away. But, it is what it is. I'm going to get rid of the marrow bulbs. We don't need them. Okay, let's go back out into space and we'll talk to Apollo. Just head out into space and wait. Good work. Your attack on that factory paid off. Did you get any useful data? Say no. No matter. We have what we need. I recorded countless signal flares when the Sentinel started to appear. Energy streams sparked beneath the planet's surface, moving from monolith to monolith. We must be on the right track. Examine these structures. They are all linked. I know it. I'll tune your scanner to the Sentinel energy signals. We shall soon have our prey. Good luck. I'll speak to you on the other side. Okay. So it's going to take me to the next spot. Oh, it says to go to Nada. Alright. We do want to do that every time you get extra Quicksilver for it, so it's usually a good idea. It's a good way to get started on the Quicksilver, if you will. I think I've mentioned that before in earlier episodes. Okay. Ooh, nice parking space. This parking space here is usually one of the best, because you're close by everything. Or the one just on the other side. Okay. What do we got? What new knowledge, Traveler? Is Polo entity known to you? Explain Apollo's plan. A Traveler entity that is not known to Nada. Yet they know Artemis entity, who themselves no longer recalls Nada. You bring news that alarms Nada. What else does our home fail to see? Nada looks troubled. They retreat into themselves. Ask what to do. Polo friend has kept us safe. Nada's carapace has been Nada's, and Nada's only for many years, outside the cycle of data. We help others escape those who might process our reality. Nada has peace here. Those who hunt us cannot see. Nada does not want it to end. But better to understand, to know what comes for us. Do not stop on our account. Okay. There's our 80 nanites and 150 quicksilver. We'll talk to Polo real quick. Nada is alarmed by Apollo, friend. I am not. It is exciting to see where our model fails. If we are wrong, then there are more friends than we realized. More friends and more stars. We're going to ask about the Sentinels. Novel Apollo allies himself with the Vy'keen, enjoys to hunt the Sentinels. Good, but it will not work. They will always come. It is beyond us to change. Everywhere our home has been, the hunters will follow. Okay, so you've learned a little bit something there. There is no end to the Sentinels. They're constantly reproducing, if you will. Reproducing in the sense that the Atlas is constantly making more at all times, so that they'll always be there. Okay, continue with Apollo's plan. Search for the source of the Sentinel energy trace. Return to space to begin the search, so we'll do that. One moment. C. So we gotta press the C button to scan. Trace successful leyline link detected. So this is where we get the idea of ley lines from. Is from the game itself, from the storyline. So when we talk about ley lines, going north, south, east, west, that kind of thing. I'm not trying to go to the space station. There we go. Big run linked up. Yes, we are. Ooh, we're going to the aggressive Sentinel planet. We may actually have to fight some Sentinels here, whether I like it or not. Let me recharge real quick.
Technology recharge.
There we go. Because it's dropping rather quickly. I was hoping we'd have more efficiency. Yeah, the fuel efficiency, 20% is what we're looking for. Because it uses less fuel when we're doing this. But anyway. So the ley lines are north-south from a usual destination. So if you find a building and you go north from there, there's a good chance you're going to find another building within within 400 units, left or right, if you will. Okay, so probably not here, right? Not in the middle of the ocean. So let's turn towards land and do a scan. That might be it. Oh, no, monolith, right? That's what we're looking for. Look what we found. This maybe not be a monolith, but looks like it might be at least a relic. Black, probably. This is it. Alright, let's go ahead and hit it up before the Sentinels show up. I'm not even going to try that. Zoko slap or something like that. I don't know what to expect as I approach the structure. An army of Sentinels, perhaps? Some gateway through which I'll find Artemis? It keeps announcing the Sentinel planet thing. Yeah, that's going to be bad. But in the shifting structure of this monolith, I can feel something else. A story. A vision. It is already burning itself into my eyes. Nope, there's the Sentinel. He can't see me while I'm communicating with this, but he'll see me as soon as I'm done. The Traveler. Arrival. The Traveler awoke beneath the shadow of a red star. Through the lonely cosmos they fled, yearning for purpose and meaning. They found an anomaly, an aberration, a door to the heavens. No Gek, no Vy'keen, no Korvax could see it. Only the Traveler could perceive the portal, though they did not know how to step through. They did not know the secret language, the glyphs. They did not yet grasp the price of the final truth. Witness the glyphs. I am filled with the knowledge of an ancient traveler. I see glyphs in my mind. Part of the code I need to activate a portal. So as we leave here, I'm going to jump in the ship as quickly as possible and see if we can escape the Sentinels, but there's a good chance we're not going to be able to. Here we go. And it's going to continue repeating that until I'm done with the portal, with this thing here. Now it looks like it finally stopped. Okay, good. So here we go. I spoke too soon. As I depart, I spot a Sentinel drone in the distance. It moves away quickly. Here we go. See? He's coming in. Alright. If we're going to fight them, let's get to a larger landmass. We don't want an interceptors. My ship, I think, can handle it, but it's going to be a nasty battle. Okay, so we're going to have to deal with this. Use the green barrels to heal yourself and to get stuff. Now, we might be able to leave now. The problem is we would have to run away people on our ship, it would be difficult. So we're just going to have to fight this out.
Sentinel combat.
Probably going to take us about 5 minutes or so. Oh, what do you know?
Warning. Elite Sentinel force.
Hoping to get rid of those guys. I get a little quiet when I'm playing with these guys. Looks like we got a quad on the path here. As soon as we see the laser, we'll know. Okay. Nope, maybe not. Got fortunate there. I'm going to try to stay close to the ship. Searching. Okay, somehow there is a Sentinel way up in the sky. So let's get to the ship. Where did I leave my ship? You're going to hear me say that many, many times. As soon as the search is over, I can get in my ship and leave. Don't have to fight them. He can see me. Okay, so this is one of those situations, unfortunately. Okay. It's like straight overhead, and it can sense me when I'm near my ship. So we're going to have to just jet to our ship as quickly as possible and get out of here. And go. You see a Sentinel popped up. We got away just in time. Excellent. Okay, gonna try something a little different here. Let's go to a different planet and see if we can scan from a different planet. That's also aggressive. Well, that doesn't work either now, does it? Alright, where's my planet at? Let's find that. There's the space station. There's the aggressive planet. There is a planet this way. Yeah, I see my base computer. Okay. Well, let's head to our planet if we could. We'll use a little bit of our pulse drive fuel to get there, but I'm going to hope that once we're in the atmosphere, it'll just find whatever location we're
Hostile
looking for.
scan detected.
Of course there's a hostile scan detected. These are pirates. I'm not giving them any money. We're going to fight them. Let me just get a little closer to our planet first.
Warning. Threat detected. Hostile ships approaching.
We'll stay in first person for this. Got two of them, it looks like. I think it's just two of them. One down. Yeah, I don't see any others. Okay. That takes care of both of them.
Hostile ships defeated.
Okay, where's my planet at? There we go. And we're just going to head straight at the planet here. Let's go that direction so we're away from all the freighters. Alright. Back up. So once we're in the atmosphere, there we go. Let's scan. Good. Please tell me it's here. Excellent. So now we're on a more peaceful planet. I don't know what's with Ensign or Oriawara, or whatever the name is, but that seems to be a glitch that's now been produced with the new update that they just did, so that's going to be a little bit of a problem. There we go. Whoops. My bad. You know, we should open those. Fortunately, these Sentinels aren't going to attack me, so let's see what we get. Alright, so these are kind of useful items, especially the antimatter. Put this in our ship too while I'm at it. Okay, go ahead and do this. Alright, what do we got? No idea except the word imminent. As I approach the structure, I feel that same burning sensation in my eyes. There is nothing to read, and yet I am more aware of these words than anything I've ever known. Wait. The Traveler, Sin. The Traveler found a way. They always did. The first drone screamed when it was cut open. Within the shattered memories of Sentinels, the Traveler found the glyphs they needed. They passed through the gateway, emerging from the face of omnipotence. The Traveler asked the Atlas how many worlds were left to visit. They had seen so many in their life. They did not wish to die before they saw them all, and the Atlas answered. There's your answer, folks, in case you're wondering. That's 18 quintillion, in case you're wondering. I've been told it's more than that. I've been told it's more like septillion, so 7 instead of 5, okay? So 18 septillion, but that's quintillion, in case you're wondering. So hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, quadrillions, and quintillion. 18 quintillion. More than could be seen in any lifetime. It was impossible to explore the universe before the Traveler died. Witness the glyphs. I am filled with the knowledge of an ancient traveler. I see the glyphs in my mind, another piece of the code. The Traveler that you're seeing, just to be keeping in mind, we're going to meet them later, okay? The original first Traveler, and we're going to be considered the last Traveler, if you will, okay? Polo's in the middle. I think of the Atlas. I have encountered this name many times in my travels, yet its true nature still eludes me. The vision fills me with fear. Okay? And I don't think we get attacked. No, that's it. So now, we go back to our ship. We have Ensign. The Ensign is still in our ship, apparently. He's stuck in the fuselage, apparently. Poor guy. Alright. Then another scan. Let me just get a screenshot of this so people can see it. Oh, can't do it. Alright, let me try something else. Hold on a second here, folks. I want to get a screenshot of this for the bug report that I'm going to be submitting very, very soon. There we go. Done. Alright, so where are we heading? Over here. How far away? 20 seconds? 10 seconds? Yeah. It should be right over here. It's an approximate location, so we're going to have to keep our eyes peeled. Alright, so we're probably looking for a monolith. Oh, it's dead on. Okay, so I guess we don't have to look. Occasionally you run into that problem where you can't land properly. Sometimes you just got to change your field of vision. While we're here, we're going to grab some words. We probably should have grabbed them at the other location, but I didn't think of it at the time. The more words you can grab, the more you understand the knowledge. That's just telling me I've learned words. Okay. Alright, here we go. Yep, didn't pick up any of those. Everything here is tinted with the same red, the same unobservable crimson that fills my vision when I blink. I can only hope the structure holds the final glyphs, that my trial at these ruins is nearly over. Wait. The Traveler, a purpose. The Atlas told the Traveler they were the first of their kind, that a multitude would follow. Each would be endowed with the same noble soul, each able to travel from planet to planet in eternal solitude. So the Traveler original one is the foretelling of more to come. So the Atlas knew that there was an issue, but they are not being issued by the Atlas. Keep that in mind. The Atlas has no power over travelers that appear. The first traveler rejected the gift of the Atlas. This was not what they hoped for. What was the purpose of infinity if they could not see it all? If you were alone, if you would one day die. The first traveler cursed the Atlas and claimed that they would find a way to survive no matter the cost. All of these worlds, all of time itself, it would be for the travelers to witness. Witness the glyphs. I am filled with the knowledge of an ancient traveler. I see the final glyphs in my mind, the final portion of the code. Okay. So, we gotta locate and activate a portal. You ready for this? You've never seen a portal. Let me, one more time, folks. Second here. This one's already saved, so that's a second picture I can show them. Alright. Alright, so 2 good pictures of that. Okay. One more scan. Right there. Okay, how far away is that? Now, our base is how far? 14, 15 minutes away. The portal is... Wow, our portal was really close to our base. I didn't even know that. So we're going to go out to the upper atmosphere. We're not going to sit there and rocket to the location. We're going to go ahead and pulse drive to it. I did not lock in on it. Let's try that again. That seems to be an issue lately. Getting locked in on something. So not far away from our base. That's pretty good. I mean, it's not really a traveling distance. We still have to probably go out in the pulse drive, but it's nice to know it's within the same hemisphere, maybe you know, a few thousand of where we were located at. Okay, is that approximate location? Nope, that is actual location. Okay, so it should be right here. There we go. Now I'm going to drop a base computer here, because this is my home planet, and I want to know where it is. Be able to portal here anytime we want. Now I'm going to give it an odd name, and I recommend you go with a naming system for your bases. I mean, not just name your base home like I did on my original one. Give it a purposeful name if you're not going to be doing much in this area. So I'm not going to put a little teleporter here or anything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to name this. Let me see here. Portal, which we're in Euclid. Portal Euclid base. So it's very descriptive, and it gives me an idea that on my home base planet, this is the Euclid galaxy, and this is a portal that I can use. Occasionally you're going to run across glyphs. If someone finds a really neat multi-tool or a really cool ship, they'll tell you what galaxy it's in and give you the glyphs. This tells me that it's in the Euclid galaxy, so I can go to the Euclid portal here, open it up, go to that location. So, very good way to name stuff. It's up to you how you want to name it. You can just leave it at a default name. It's completely up to you. Now, to open a portal, you sometimes have to unlock it. This one's unlocked, so because of the mission, probably. But later on, I'll probably have to unlock it by unlocking each of the locations around it. So here we go. Traveler anomaly confirmed. Breach, breach, breach. I approach the portal. I think of every passing thought and idle wish that led me to this moment. Within this gateway, I might find Artemis. I might find the source of the Sentinels. I might find a whole new universe. But it is more than this. This is not fate. I'm making a choice, a leap of faith that somewhere out there in the dark, I will find who I'm meant to be. Input the glyphs. I step forward not knowing what I will find on the other side, but I feel it deep in my heart, the call towards a deeper truth. This will be the start of everything. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it will be. Portal established. Now, it's time to go through. Before we do, store point. Just to play it safe in case anything happens. I always do that. You can put a save point there too if you wish. Now, something I always do with these portals, I don't like to just run through them. I jump. So let's see where we end up. Now, for the question that comes up, can you jump from galaxy to galaxy with this? The answer is no. This portal only jumps you to a different system within the same galaxy. Different system within the same galaxy. Sometimes on the other complete opposite side of the galaxy, but it always will be an odd location. Now, you'll notice that my ship didn't come with me. That means we're here for a limited time.
Warning. Hostile system. Units received.
We recorded 1 of 10, but I'm not going to record the others. We're not going to be here long, so don't bother getting to know the area. You can hear the crackling. You hear the noise. There we go. Atlas Protocol initiated. Here we go. Can't stay long, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, the Atlas. Welcome to this place. Normally you can enter these Atlas places and you can land on these 3 pads, 4 pads actually, there's a 4th one over there. It's up to you. You'll see my ship is not here, so we're here as a guest. Each of these glyphs will sometimes give you a word. Not all of them, but most of them will do. Probably about 25% of them. So every time I visit an Atlas location, I try to run around and do it. Oh, mighty Atlas. What do you think we should do? Think we should genuflect or something like that? Let's see what we got. Here, this one. This one right here. And we get a good picture like that. Nice, huh? Yep, I sense that that's going to be a thing. Now, these things usually contain warp cells. Go ahead and grab them. They're free. It also tells you whether you've been to this Atlas before. Here we go. I'm going to talk to the Atlas. The text blinks before me. It awaits input. I'm just going to say hello. Hello, world. This is coming from the Atlas. An audio recording plays, echoing out across the vast interface. We were once travelers. We once aspired to more than dirt and dust. The audio clicks. Time passes. Show me a world, Atlas. Show me something no one has ever seen before. Now, the Atlas is speaking, but it's actually playing a recording, okay? The voice ends. The interface grows still and silent. It awaits a command. I'm going to perform a diagnostic. It has been... wow. 1,946,000,000,000 years since the last diagnostic. 64% of worlds operating within expected parameters. That means 36 more are not. That's interesting. 2.6 million actionable observations awaiting analysis. Subroutine, Sentinel, status error, null value. Okay, null value, very interesting. So the subroutine Sentinel has an error. That's interesting, isn't it? Subroutine Glass, status operational, 4,182 breach attempts. That's interesting to note. You'll understand more about Glass later, the Glass, and that there's been 4,000 breach attempts from the realm of Glass. Let's keep that in mind. Subroutine Traveler, status operational, 458 critical error warnings, exomind structural integrity compromised, immediate repairs required. So these travelers that are coming through, 2 L's, you notice that instead of 1, very interesting, have had critical errors. And integrity on those mines are compromised. What are they compromised by? Do you remember the Glass it just mentioned? Initiate personality interface? Yeah, sure. Traveler, 2 L's. Reality fades. Everything does. My body, my voice, my soul, all of it speaks to me. The Atlas stands before me in all its might. I want to ask about Artemis. I want to find them, but something is happening to me. I need to get out of here. I need to scream, rejoice, or submit. I'm going to submit this time. No, rejoice. Let's rejoice. I try to rejoice, but I have no body, no spirit. Uh-oh. Time to say goodbye. Oh, I didn't get a chance. going to drop me on a random planet. It might be the same planet in the same system, but I don't think it is. It'll probably be in the same system that I was in with that other planet. Sentinels require obedience. I have no idea where we are. Where's my ship? Over there. Okay. 477. Let's see what we got. There we go. Hazard protection is falling. We're going to use some sodium on this. We don't have any batteries. Let's get a few batteries in case we need them. Oh, my cobalt's in the ship. Alright, let's head to the ship then. Oof, big animals. And keep going. Wow, it's dropping quick. Let's see if there's any more sodium. Because we're going to need some to get there. There we go. Keep going. I don't know what kind of condition the ship is in. I probably could have called it, but that's alright. There we go. And there's our ship. And we're back. Alright, should we grab some stuff while we're here? Whole planet, considering that there's supposedly no storm going on right. I can't seem to get into any of these containers. Let's just get in here for a moment to protect ourselves. I escaped to my ship, glad of something familiar in this strange world. Where is the portal taking me? I was caught in the gravity of that infernal machine, not strong enough to resist. It identified itself as Atlas, the entity so many worship and fear. I saw no sign of Artemis, no trace of the Sentinels. Why did I even step through that gateway? Why did I follow this path? Well, I must try to rescue Artemis, I think, personally. Is that true, or is it just a lie I tell myself? The kind of thought a noble person might have. Artemis was in need of assistance, but did I really risk my life just for them? There is something more, something other yearning. Some other yearning. As I stare at the console, an opportunity presents itself once more. There is an inbound transmission, emerging from a location on this very planet. I'm just waiting. Now there is some buried tech here I want to go ahead and grab. Just can't believe my extreme hazard protection is not rebounding fast enough. Let's answer the call. You are not alone. The signal appears to be coming from this very system, using the same words that led me to Artemis not so long ago. Could it be them? Did Artemis meet Atlas as I have? End transmission. So it's going to give me a location. And that's it. So I got to go find the location. Now you notice that there's some buried tech to my left. I'm going to go ahead and jump out and grab that. Because it's just free money, guys. Might as well grab it. Alright. Well, let's go. So we gathered all the stuff that we could from the site. Let's go ahead and head on to this location. And we're probably going to be ending our experience here very, very soon with this particular episode, since we're just coming up on the 1 hour mark right now. They're just a little bit quicker. Okay, hold on. Okay, I don't see anything. Let's check our location here. Maybe we're looking for something else. Hold on, let's do a little bit of a pass over here. Thought it might be a ship. No. Maybe not. What it might be is a blank area on the ground. We're going to continue to scan a couple more times. Let me turn it in a different direction. It seems to be too far away. Alright, let's land. Take a look. A lot of times you can see it from the sky, but this is one of those planets it's kind of hard to see anything. It is directly in front of me, right here. Alright, let me do something here. Hold on.
Technology recharge.
Literally right in front of me, so is it up on the ridge here? Very odd. Alright, let's go over here. Really, really want to find this in my ship so I don't have to run around in this cold weather. No? Okay. Alright, we're gonna have to walk there no matter what. It's literally right here, supposedly.
Thermal protection falling.
Did I not say? Is it on top of the ridge here?
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
Really? Like it can get worse?
Thermal protection falling.
Okay. Oh, it's a grave. I didn't realize that. Guess what? I approach the source of the signal. A hologram appears. It is Artemis, but there is only silence, a slow pulse, the slow pulse of cosmic noise in the signal. Ask if they're alright. If Artemis can hear me, they make no sign. The hologram just stares. It's strange, but I feel a sense of deja vu, as if I've been here before, right at this very moment. Ask where they are. As I move closer, the Artemis projection begins to speak, their words punctuated by a strange static. They came, bzz, watched closely, bzz, machines, murderers, bzz, against the bzz. The voice falls silent. The projection looks at me. Something is very wrong. Scan the hologram. I scan the hologram. It bears the exact same signature as every other transmission I have received from Artemis. There is no ulterior source for the signal. Everything they have said appears to have come from right in front of me. As I stand here, Artemis begins to speak. Where are cold them, but still beloved? Anomaly. They, Nada, Polo, watching us, tracking. Mistake, abandoned, but it wasn't. Through the portal, please, don't trust. I'm afraid. Aren't, comfort. Projection fizzles away to mere static. This echo is all that is left of the entity known as Artemis, a grave of glitched data, trapped in a sunless reality. My friend is dead. Perhaps they were never alive. I must tell Apollo what I have seen.
Thermal protection falling. Extreme cold damage detected.
So we're going to go in here and pull the ship in. There we go. So the cold out there is extreme, so it can kill me. Alright, so we have to tell Apollo about the portal, and we need to go to Apollo Terminus. It's a bad planet to be doing it on. Gravity well. Really went down a lot. We're going to have to collect some more stuff to recharge it. Approximate location, of course. I think it would show up. How far away? I don't know yet. Look this direction. That is probably it. It's a little closer. Maybe. No, that's way too far away. It's definitely not it. Top of the ridge. I would say that's more than likely. There we go. That looks more. Okay. Alright, so we're going to die out here real quick. Let's make a couple batteries, shall we? Wish we had cold protection up here, but we don't. 3 ought to do. Okay, here we go.
Thermal protection falling.
Now, while we're talking, we'll be protected, but we'll have to make sure we're fully charged. Manual override. Warning messages cease. Some new frequency shimmers into being.
Thermal protection falling.
Okay, guess who? Null, you are not alone. Tell me, what's the point of living if we know that life will finish? Ask who they are. You refuse to answer? That's answer enough, I suppose. I know you, traveler. I know where you've been. I know where you're going. What if I told you that Artemis could be saved? What if I told you that Artemis could live once more, after a fashion? What would you do then, I wonder? I'm going to demand to know who they are, and I don't think I've ever done it before. I am nothing. That's what Null means, anyway. The blood of Artemis is data. The heart, its glitch. I can help you retrieve them both. We require a mind arc, a receptacle for their soul. Can you do that for me? I am reactivating Artemis frequency. Speak with them when you are ready. The stranger offers me blueprints for something they called a mind arc, a device that they claim will allow me to restore Artemis to life. Alright, we'll accept it. I accept not knowing who the stranger is or how they possess such knowledge of my adventures, but if there is a chance that I can help Artemis, I'll take it. Mind arc and a soul engine. Okay. Head to the ship.
Thermal protection falling.
Bad planet. I don't like this planet at all. Okay, so we have to construct a mind arc. So that's what we're going to do in the next episode. So I want to thank you all for watching. I'm actually going to do it from the confines of my ship. I'd normally wave at you, but as bad as this particular planet is, this is what we got to deal with. So we're going to go ahead and end the episode here. Again, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again in the next episode. Take care, everybody.